In the early 2000s, South Africa faced a public health crisis due to an epidemic of HIV. During this period, the president of the country publicly challenged the established scientific connection between HIV and AIDS and spread the message that existing treatments or actions to prevent transmission weren't effective. The sentiments instilled stigma, exacerbating the epidemic, and by 2006, with no proper defenses or treatments in place, the percentage of the country's population affected surged to nearly 20%. This is the dangerous power of misinformation. Misinformation is information that is false or information that could potentially mislead an audience, regardless of the motive or the source behind it. So why do we choose to believe misinformation? Confirmation bias is a type of cognitive bias in which people are more likely to believe information that is directly in line with their prior beliefs. Similarly, in-group bias causes us to support information that portrays our in-group in a positive manner and our out-group in a negative light. Repeated information or emotionally charged language are factors that cause us to increase our susceptibility to misinformation. These factors make us neglect our prior knowledge and reasonability and favor misinformation. And how can we combat misinformation? Previous research has focused on debunking misinformation after exposure, but the factors we just mentioned often caused it to persist. So recently, studies have focused on inoculation theory. Inspired by the medical vaccination process, it combats misinformation with psychological science. Inoculation theory has two steps. First, a warning that the information may challenge your beliefs. Secondly, a weaker form of the misinformation that includes a debunking and the misleading tactics used. The research project Psychological Inoculation Improves Resilience Against Misinformation on Social Media by Rosenbeek et al. Uses the procedure to create 5 inoculation videos that target the common rhetoric that's used to mislead people in misinformation. 7 studies were conducted, and in studies 1 to 6, participants were randomly assigned to watch either an inoculation or neutral video before rating social media posts for manipulation. The project aimed to assess if watching an inoculation video improved participants' ability to recognize manipulation, assess trustworthiness, and reduce sharing manipulative content. In Study 7, over 22,000 YouTube users responded to a question to identify misinformation randomly or after watching an inoculation ad. The study found that psychological inoculation significantly improved recognition of misinformation, boosted confidence in identifying it, and reduced sharing. This highlights inoculation's potential to effectively combat misinformation and prevent its persistence. Remember the damage of the misinformation in South Africa? What if we could spot it and seek truth? The solution is psychological sciences like inoculation to combat misinformation.